day, everyone, and welcome to Breaking Boundaries. I am your host, Talumba Katawala from beautiful Mozambique. On today's episode, we welcome Lina, country manager based in Shanghai, Technip Energies, China. Lina has 20 years of experience in the company and has worked her way up from chemical engineer to leading the TAN China Operating Center. She will talk about her vision of management and the way the new generations have a different approach to the workplace. Hello, Lee. How are you doing today?
Hi, Toloma. I'm excited to be here with you.
Great, great. I'm super excited to get to know you as well. I've read and heard so many good things about you, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today. So, just to start, to get to know you better, I'm just wondering about your childhood and how you grew up in China. What was that like? What was your family environment like?
Oh, thank you for the questions. Actually, I was born in a small town in north of China, and both my parents are teachers. I graduated in chemical engineering from Beijing University of Chemical and Technology. And then I have joined a famous Chinese design institute. Then from this company, I have learned a lot on how to make engineering design and work with people. And then I have made a lot of friends there. And in early of 2002, I joined Technip. At that time, it was called Technip. And I worked for this company for 20 years until now.
Wow, wow. Early 2002. That's great. And so how did you find out about Technique, or how did you get this job at Technique?
I have some friends working in Technip at that time. And I know that Technip is a great company. And then I know that Technip was recruiting when I searched for a job in Shanghai when I decided with my family moving to Shanghai from another city in China. And so I joined Technip at that time. And in my first 9 years in Technip, I was piping material engineer, and I was appointed as head of piping material in 2005. And then in early of 2011, I was assigned to project management department. This was a big move. But I agreed to make this change because the management team really has recognized me a lot and trust me for this move. And that's why I selected and I accepted this role. It was a really excellent experience working with a large team and managing this first project, I would say, according to the new role. And I really started to enjoy project management.
That's great. That's a good trajectory. I mean, starting out as a piping engineer, you said?
Yes, yes.
Wow, to all the way to project management. So why did you choose Technip Energies in particular? I mean, for 20 years you've been with the company. I'm sure you've been approached by many other companies and recruiters. Why did you choose to stay with Technip Energies?
Technip is a large company with plenty of worldwide projects. So I feel very proud to work for this company. And of course, I know that there are always opportunities, outside. And I don't need to persuade myself to stay, but I love this company, and I know that I'm working with many great people. And my managers at that time, he was very nice and keeping recognizing me, and I have good relationship with many colleagues. So I don't want to leave them. Even time to time, there is some other person approaching me, but I just decided to stay. And in Technip Energies has plenty of technologies where creates a very professional platform that I'm looking for, and I don't want to lose this platform.
Yeah, I can relate to that as well. I think over the years that I've been with the company, I've built very good relationships with people across the globe, and now including you. So it is a really great community to be part of at Technip Energies. You learn a lot from the diverse teams that we have all across the world. So you went from an engineer position to a project manager. I think a lot of people desire to have this transition or aspire to have that transition. How did that happen for you? How did this evolution happen?
I'd say I don't project myself a lot. So I moved to project management because that management has selected me, which might because that I was successfully succeeding as an engineer and I always delivered excellent job. And people knows that I like challenges and I'm keen to find better solutions. That is very important as a project manager. So I think this is the reason, and I'm also eager to learn, and I'm very interested working with people.
Okay, so you're, let's say you're very rigorous and you take initiative. Is that what kept you excited about your job? Always going, taking on the challenges that were asked of you? Because I mean, you've been here for 20 years now. And what has made you stay all along? I mean, because it can't just be work, you know?
Well, thank you for this question. Actually, many different people ask me the same question. You know, many different companies they call me and try to persuade me to join them. Some are really my friends, and even two companies, last year they called me as they need a general manager. But still, I consider Technip Energies is a great company, a good company to stay. And their target is in energy transitions, which gives hope to people. And I believe there is still a lot to do for me. This way, I think I can't leave now after 20 years. I know my team, and they are very professional and engaged to the job, and they have supported me many years. So again, I couldn't leave them, even if you couldn't get very good package by leaving the company. But if you think about the team, the trust, I just can't leave. And I think the payment is not the only reason to work for. You need to have targets and to protect your team. There is something about honor and loyal, So now the trust is in another way, and my team trusts me. So
Right.
I just
Well,
fit.
it just fits exactly. It seems like you're, very passionate about your job and you give yourself completely to it. And how do you then manage to keep that work and life balance? Because it seems like you've had a very exciting 20 years of experiences and different projects and managing different teams as well. Do you do something else on the side to keep your sanity? Do you have any hobbies or habits that you take on the day to day just to release the stress?
Interesting question. I think for everybody, family are very important. And
Right.
this is something that we are working for. And so I think I'm good at balancing, and people are considered the same. I am quite efficient on work, and I'm able to resolve the problems, but I never bring worries home to my family. I handle by myself, and I know how to release my pressure. I still remember that in 2014 and 2015, I've been managing two major projects in this office at the same time as project managers. And meanwhile, I'm taking in charge of the operation of the whole company. I have gained full satisfaction by my clients and my boss. and those projects were delivered very successful. So
Wow.
this makes me very happy because I know that I can handling different things at the same time, and I know how to manage my time and balancing with family, So that's really a nice experience. And during weekend, I'm doing some hiking and I play badminton with my friends time to time. And this can keep me energized to the work
Yeah.
for the next week. So I, I I know how to refresh myself.
All right. Hiking, badminton. I mean, hiking just sounds like the best relaxation exercise, going out into the wild, being with nature, fresh air, not having any schedules. It sounds like a really good way to unwind. But then so how do you manage being able to fully live those aspects of your life? You are 110% at work, you're fully dedicated to your family. How do you do this? Are you doing this alone?
Oh, actually, I'm not alone. My parents, they stay with me, and my husband, he works as an engineer as well. My son, he's 22 years old. Um, my parents, they help me a lot doing some housework, share a lot of job at home.
Mhm.
This helped me a lot. My son, when I started the role as project manager, he was
Mhm.
a little boy, but he was a really nice guy, never complained, and this makes me more concentrating to my job. So
Right.
anyway, I will always I manage to accompany to my family, and I taking my parents go outside and enjoy the nature, and
Mhm.
trying to stay with my son, although I have limited time. But I think we worked very well, and my son he's 22 already and started to work.
Oh, wow.
Mm.
So you were going through, your son is 22, you have a 20-year career with Technip Energies, a very successful 20-year career. Wasn't it too hard feeling like you could miss out on things with your son as he was growing up?
He was a nice boy, and he never complained. But I still feel that it could be good if I have more time to stay with him. But this is something that I feel a little regretful. But my husband, he has done a lot of work on
Hmm.
supporting my son. So this really appreciated. I believe the most important thing is to show the real consideration to the
Hmm.
family and to my son, and then he can feel that you are with him when he feel some difficulties and facing some stress. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, now that your son is 22, as a general manager, well, I'm sure you talk to your son a lot about, the work that you do with Technip Energies or, all of the efforts that society is making to implement cleaner technologies. I'm sure you have these discussions at home. What challenges do you have as a general manager recruiting young people?
Oh, again, I think Technip Energy is very famous in this field, and she is a leading company in energies. So this is a very good reason that I can talk to the young generation and being attractive to motivate them to join Technip
Mhm.
Energies. And in this company, we are caring people. So I tell them that I have created different channels to talk with different people through the whole company. I have organized different programs every quarterly with many different activities. Like I will organize talk to newcomers in
Right.
order for them to know the company's strategy, what is our objective, how we work together, and what can bring them to grow up. And I have organized different type of talks with different type of people, and I can feel that people really volunteer to join the talks, and it's really excellent experience. I will talk this to the young people, and they can feel the same, and we can seek for the improvement together. So I feel proud that our staff they like a lot these programs, and for me, I can be close to our staff. From all the talks, they understand the company strategy and people, and then I can encourage them to raise up suggestions. Then they feel much motivated and engaged to their responsibilities and to be part of the company.
So you take a hands-on approach to speaking directly to the people so you can uh, explain better what the mission is and what our purpose is and how we work together, how we collaborate. You take the responsibility yourself to do that with your peers.
Yes, my
Yeah.
parents, they are teachers. I like to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, see.
young generation, they are different.
Yeah.
From our generation, they always want something new, something interesting. They want to be recognized, and they like to do things interesting and meaningful. An engineering company need to refresh and to let them understand what they are engaged in. We can't just ask them to do what they need to do without putting meaning in it, and let them know that we are working in an energy transition which will benefit to the planet. And our company is planning many different things, and a leading company in energy transition, and we provide solutions for the climate change. The new name of Technip Energies comes with something new inside, and we need to discuss it with them and not leaving them away from the decisions. And in addition, we have to adapt to the young generation instead of just asking them to follow. They want to be leader. So as a general manager, I feel that I'm not a boss, but a service provider to support the
Wow.
staff to deliver, to achieve their goal, and then our goal.
Wow. That's an interesting take on that. General manager is not a boss, but a service provider. So the approach of leadership needs to change. And as a service provider today, what is your everyday challenge?
We have many female employees. In China, we have around 45% female employees, and in manager level, we have 67% female.
What? Wow. Wow. That is,
Interesting.
that is, how did you achieve that? That is incredible.
Yes, I met different people. I really feel that the Chinese female, they are having great strengths in terms of managing the business due to their persistence. They are willing to deliver, and they are very sensitive, so they can understand people and make things happen. That makes them good managers.
So I think you mentioned about sensitivity and you mentioned it as a strength. And I like this vision very much. How is that the 67% female leadership, how is that influenced on the day-to-day operations of the office?
Um, I think this leads to more caring to people and then able to manage. I feel that some men here, they don't want to hear about they care to people, and they really don't realize that importance of the details. Well, our female managers, they are quite smart on that. And then they can manage the department and the project smoothly by carrying people, and then people feel more confident to deliver. Mm. And
Yeah.
especially during this famous COVID-19 period, it's really a hard time for everybody. And this
Right.
is really important that people feel be cared, which is really a challenge to managers. And our
Mm.
female managers, they can act as mother or sisters.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that must have been a huge challenge. I didn't realize. I mean, I'm in Mozambique, and I can't imagine how COVID must have been really difficult to manage in China. So you occupied many positions at Technique. You've had a very interesting, challenging career. I'm wondering if you've ever made like a big mistake or made such a bad decision that, today you think about it and you go, oh no, I should have done better. I could have done better. I should have done it this way. Or what are some of the lessons learned that you wish you had learned them much earlier in your career?
Well, actually, I'd say it was not a lot. I'm kind of person that I would ask the team to make the decision together. So
Mm,
this can really eliminate the risk that's on making wrong decisions. We work as a team. So actually, this I think is very important to avoid any risk in running this company. Mm.
yeah. That's a smart way to do that.
Mm.
So, okay, it's time for a signature question. You started out your career as a chemical engineer. You built your family with the support of your parents and your husband. From my point of view, I think you succeeded in both your personal and professional life. Um, what is the biggest boundary you broke? Or let's say, what is the biggest boundary breaking moment that you can recall, whether it was your professional or personal life?
Actually, I don't see boundary. I just see opportunities. Even when I was engineer in a small team, I could work for some other functions. I don't like to say this is not my job and this is yours. I think if you can cover two different functions, this is really what can we do to resolve the issue. If you don't see the boundary, I think my team they will think the same too. So when my boss said to me, I need you to handle this project, I need you to manage the other one, I took it. I just took it. I don't think something could stop me from managing another one. This is an opportunity to grow. And I don't see walls. I always say breaking the walls. I don't see the walls.
Mm,
If you can do it, just do it. This always drives me to do more things, more roles in my position, and it is my foundation to grow up. And I always explain the same to the others. They feel the same, and I really see some changes in my team.
mm. So you don't see boundaries, so therefore you're not concerned about breaking them. You just do it naturally.
Mhm.
Um, so that brings us to the end of our episode. I'm really, really happy we've got to have this conversation because I'm in between spaces of, identifying myself with the newer generation of people that are more demanding, that are searching for more meaning in their career, but also having the same aspirations as the ones prior to me, like my father and my mother, who have, the very conventional desires of career paths. Get a good job that pays you well, that has good health insurance, that takes care of your family. And at the same time, I have to think, I need to find something that fulfills me, that makes me feel good about getting up in the morning. And I think I found myself in this company, and it is fulfilling not only my personal needs, as a human, the need that I have to contribute to a better future, but also my professional ones, because I see myself evolving and growing and learning so much, especially from people like you, Lee. Fantastic. This has been really, really nice. I really absolutely admire your leadership approach. Even though you didn't set out to take leadership positions, you were duly recognized by your hard work and the way you conduct yourself and the rigorousness and how serious you take your job. I think there was a few things in the conversation when you were talking about the newer generation where you said something like, we can't just ask them to do what we need them to do. We need to put some meaning into it. And I think that that's absolutely, it rings very true to this new generation. And the fact that the new name, Technip Energies, comes with something new inside, and that we all have to sort of rediscuss it and include all of us in the conversation, the experts, the younger generation, and the future of energy transition. We all need to be part of one global discussion. So thank you so much for that. It was very lovely getting to know you. And thank you everyone for listening today. And in the future, we will have more episodes with other inspiring people at Technip Energies and conversations on how they have broken boundaries to become successful. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And Lee, I don't know if you have anything else to say to your team in China. Would you like to leave a message to them or something?
Oh, thanks a lot, Talumba and the team. It's really a nice time being here with you. And for my team, I just say, just do it. Thank you.
That's it. Just do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.